Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for coming to North Beach First Friday. Celebrating tonight International Women's Day, which is on Tuesday, officially, and also celebrating International Women's History Month. Thank you for coming out in these blustery breezes. The readers were asking, unless you strongly insist otherwise, we recommend that you sit because we tested the sound before, and because of the wind, it sounds much better down low. Thanks to Macchiarini Gallery for hosting the reading series. We've had it going on for about a year and a half now, and we always have great audiences, even on chilly nights like tonight. So thank you, audience. So I'm gonna start out with two pieces that don't have a title. He loves me not, he loves me not, he loves me. I thought you loved me, I really did. I really thought you loved me, I did. I thought you fucking loved me. Okay. Sex surrounds all sides, squashing, squeezing, thumbs me along. Alone in the middle, I sing a sad song. In sorrow I hide, his stains inside, lost in the sea, wondering about me. Well, you're about to find out. Okay, and the other poem I'm going to do, which I only read once a year, and so this is the once a year, and last year here was also the once a year. Is that better? It's a good thing I left it in the book or the pages instead of Xeroxing it, because it would be blowing around if it was just the papers. Okay, it's still blowing around. What girls do. Girls get stillborn into thin air. They come out of vaginas wishing that they were not one. They want to play with trucks instead of dolls. They want to be boys. When girls get a little older, the boys start to treat them bad, call them stupid bitches, pull their hair, but girls do like to get drunk, smoke pot, play guitar like Jimi Hendrix, skip school and hang out on Avenue C, hop freight trains to upstate New York, so they keep hanging out with boys. Girls get held down by their necks and fucked by ex-boyfriends who break in through bedroom windows when the morning is still dark and try to suffocate them, and then they forget about it the next day for 2 years and suffer from post-traumatic stress for 20. Girls get knocked up and have vacuums stuck up their cunts, or they drink abortifacient and tease and bleed. Girls are just receptacles for men's waste, containers for sperm salted with hatred. Girls can't fuck without feeling something like boys can, even if they're fucking blocking it out, because things are always moving around inside. Girls spend their lives preparing for emotional emergencies and pretend that they are Clint Eastwood, but people are always telling them to smile. Girls get abducted into pickup trucks in Loisaida by guys that want to take them to Brooklyn and dump them dead into the East River. There's no lock on the passenger door, but she escapes, pretends to let him beat her up, lands on her knees in the pouring rain in the middle of Canal Street at 5 a.m. Girls get followed by groups of men in cars when they're walking home at night, and men have threatened to rip them open with a knife, starting at the neck and slicing it all the way down. Girls knock them out with wine glasses. That's what girls do. And girls in Rwanda get tied up to trees by all four limbs, and their sons are forced to rape them, facing the barrel of a rifled soldier. Their children are starving, and no one cares. That's what girls do. They know that the world is not for them. Sometimes they know the world is not for anything at all. Thanks. Next, I'd like to introduce a North Beach resident and a poet who does, for a long time, did a jazz series. Please welcome Jennifer Baroon.
Thank you, Jessica. I love you so much. This is what happens when you put toxic masculinity in charge. Aren't we done with this? Aren't we fucking sick of this? Step aside already. Last gasps and grasps of narcissistic demons. You need a healing, and we need a great mother. Man from a rib, please. I know a toxic mythology when I hear one. You can try to make a man in a lab, turn a computer into a person. You will never come to this perfection, genius since the beginning of time. All you do is destroy, but what do you create? The stories we tell matter, pictures matter, words matter. Everyone knows you came from the belly of a woman, every last one of us. This is true power. God is a woman. Put a woman in charge already of these whining little babies. I'm sick of seeing powerful men in the background, powerful women on the sidelines behind a man's speech. I want to hear her speak. I want a tiger mom in the year of the dragon. I need an Italian mother with her pasta rolling pin to come out of her kitchen. Stop stealing all of her recipes and calling them yours. I'm sick of nameless, faceless women being stolen from, beaten, forgotten in the wake of the war. Let's see them, let's name them, tell their stories. We need a shamana guaritori with a tambora and powerful incantations. Get the fuck out of the way. We're raising this energy, stomping on this ground with naked feet to wake the mycelium networks underneath the trees. We're reactivating the sacred temple ruins with our bodies and our voice. I'm tapping into crystalline grids underneath my feet to activate this universally. You can tell a woman has lost its goddess by the way we treat the earth. So many things are backwards and need to be unlearned. She did not only belong to the moon, she created the moon. We could not only be exiled to that orb, she's also the sun. She created the sun. She's not only in the sky, she's below our feet. What man would destroy their own home? What madman would kill a man? What madman would kill their own souls? Just that. A madman. Bring me Kali. We're in the Kali Yuga. I need a woman at the helm to turn this ship. We're in need of the great woman we've forgotten, the great mother in her sacred sex, sitting in her power on her throne with her multi-orgasmic splendor, standing uninhabited, unashamed in all her honor and all her glory be. A woman, a woman, a woman. Hallelujah. I just wrote that this morning for Jessica. I am woman, hear me snore. I'm tired. I'm straight up exhausted. I'm saying no to the go, to the go, to the go, to the never-ending to-do list. It's time to rest deeply. I protest being expected to be all things to all people, to people please all the time. This weariness needs to be put to a good rest. My nap time is the revolution, and the revolution will be horizontally reclined worldwide. My rejuvenation makes the flowers grow in the sunshine. When I lay down on the earth's bed, the cherry blossoms blossom, the stars and the planets realign. I am woman, hear me snore. I've carried too many burdens for too long, too many traumas on my skin. It's time for you to take some weight off my stress. I'm getting undressed and ready to sleep in late. A statement against a capitalist system that's inhumane. I'm calling in well, and my extra beauty rest is a rest against the machine, with no justice if there's not enough sleep. I need time to daydream, new earth realities, get upon my timeline. We're going back to incubate healing remedies in our dream temple, bring offerings of sleeping women to lay upon the altar. Even the great, great mother needs to rest. Come with me, quietly, slowing down enough to exit off this hamster wheel before they see. Mothers and sisters will dream ourselves free to just be ourselves naturally. Come, give yourself a break. Come rest with me. There's a woman named, that's for a woman named Trisha Hersey. I don't know if you've heard of her organization called NAP Ministry, but NAP Ministry believes in rest again as a form of resistance, and they name sleep deprivation as a racial and social justice issue. Really amazing revolutionary work. Check it out, NAP Ministry. And so lastly, I will, this is me as a baby and my grandmother. And I just recently found this picture of when I was a baby. It was the first time I met my grandmother in Brooklyn, New York, in Sunset Park. And so her name is Rosa. I am the rose, thornless, naked, deep crimson, that grew in my grandmother's garden in Sunset Park. She took me through the basement kitchen and brought me for a blessing. Everyone needs protection in high frequency. She wrapped me in a golden egg the city couldn't penetrate, the city with its siren cries outside a wrought iron fence. Iron makes the sacred well turn red, iron at the core of the earth and in our blood, liquid magma of Vesuvio and the volcano that we lived upon, trembling fire and mineral earth that feeds the sacred rose of our flesh. Unfolding with desire, she held me and brought me to the roses she tended. All alone, she blessed me. Little roses, the sacred mother in disguise. Blossoming roses that open the internal eye. Rose of the heart between our thighs. Fleshy rose that loves and bleeds and blesses. Fragrant rose intoxicates in its devotion. Powerful rose, a seed inside a baby inside her belly. Unending. In 1,000 unfolding petals, infinite.
Brava.
Thank you, Jennifer Baroon. The next poet is also a North Beach resident, and she is also a fabulous painter. And she has some work on display in the gallery, Live Worms, right down the block here. Please welcome Agneta Falk.
Buonasera a tutti. Io sono parlare solamente italiano questa sera perché è molto importante per me. That's not true. My hands are so cold I can hardly open my to find my spectacles. I'm going to open with a poem I wrote to our beloved demise Rosemary Mano, who insisted, as she passed in December just before Christmas, that she did not want a memorial. She said, "Promise me, I don't want a memorial." The poem is called Blanca, which was the name of her dog, which passed a few years before she passed. And I don't need to say anything more. There went the poem. Blanca, for Rosemary Mano. I could never bring myself to call you Blanca, though you made it your signum. You had a thing about names. Agneta, never Aggie. Jackie, never Jack. Blessed, never Roger. Fidel, never Castro. And only Jack could call you Rosie. So many thoughts whirling since your demise, and the tiniest details spring to mind. A certain etiquette had to be observed in your presence. The way You've been brought up, you insisted. Or maybe you said, not my education. There was no fluff on your words, nor in your carefully crafted poems. But underneath ran a wild current that could not be tamed. Your eyes would widen and pierce through hypocrisies or light up, almost childlike, when amused. It was all or nothing. When you were good, you were very good. But when you were bad, you were very bad. Your finger wagging, but for sure, never boring. Most of all, I sing your courage again and again. How you refuse to give in to the demon eating your life away. You're forever at my table with a fine glass of wine, the best a table could offer for your refined palate. Go gently, dear comrade. In your words, Blanca out. Blanca presente. And like Jessica, I read my one-a-year poem here, if I can get to it. Actually, I'm reading from She. All the poems in this book are about women. This one is called Sold. If someone had told me, I wouldn't have believed it. Maybe I was dead. Maybe I am dead. My name is Slave. I don't remember much now. It stinks too much. If I go there, I can't enter unless I fill up the holes. But the hate, the loathing is still in me. That's why I barely look in the mirror. All I dreamt of was my grandma's white bedspread when I went down, down to the stench, the never-ending stench, the unfamiliar hairy groins, the unmentionable, unthinkable filth of it all. And how she kept it so white, in between feeding the cows and mucking out the stables, how she washed herself after a long day's work before slipping into bed. Every day the smell of poverty. And I, so blinded by a promise from a stranger of a life somewhere else, could not even begin to imagine that the whiteness of a bedspread on a bed in a dirt village would keep me from going, hours, days, weeks, forever. Grandma with her soap bar, the sun filtering through that small window, her veined hands keeping clean, soaping the floor. I thought I could do better, and here I am, sold, wishing for my body to fill with sand, to plug all my openings, no entry written on my forehead, but they keep on coming. I don't even count anymore. They have dicks and money I never see, and freedom's on the other side of the pane of the window. But I'm shit deep in shame. I can't move, but I know I can't be bought. They get a dead body to come alive, on and in. I'll always be just a body to them, but no body to myself, but liberty's soul alone. Well, that wasn't a very uplifting poem, was it? So I'm going to, this is to Madge, who was an Irish poet I knew in London many years ago. Her name was Madge Heron. She refused to have her poems printed because she thought people would copy them, and she was actually right. And she was right, because her poems were so magical that people just couldn't help themselves. So, I think it's raining on my book. So it's called Madge. She was a virgin. It's in my poem, actually. I could sense her from afar, skipping up to my house, demanding a bacon butty. She was my black angel with a mass of gray hair pulled back from her wide Irish face into a bun. Sometimes a strand or two would fall into her eyes. Against my protest, she would get down on her knees to scrub my floors, muttering under her breath, "I bled enough for your seed," while sweat broke through her brow. Or rock my baby Joe, reciting him poems she refused to publish for fear of having them stolen. At night, she dreamt about her father seated between two mountains in Donegal. Sometimes we plucked him out of there so she could breathe. Around her abundant shape and mind, we gathered like lamb to slaughter, for her tongue was brilliant and sharper than a sword. She could have played St. Joan on the big London stage if it wasn't for telling his author, George Bernard Shaw, he was pruning strawberries in white gloves. She died, a virgin it goes, having bled all her life for that mystery seed. And then finally, this is for my granddaughter, Isabella Rose. Isabella Rose Black. And there she is, the twinkle in my eye. In her palm lies my future. I follow her commands, not even pretending I have a will of my own. She looks right through me with big brown eyes so far I can almost touch my great-great-grandmother's hair. Her dreams play in the sun, and when it rains, I turn my umbrella upside down so I don't miss a drop of her gorgeous laughter. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Agneta Falk. The next poet this evening, in addition to being a poet, is also a drummer and a sailboat captain. Please welcome R Morrison.
I'm also a high school teacher, which in its own way is a sea captain. So it's one of those moments I wonder why I quit drinking. I'm freezing. I'd be nice and warm if I had a little I can always come, yeah. I've got some new shit, and I'll read an old short one too. Jessica, thank you for having me. I love reading for you. It's always the real deal. Happy International Women's Day. This is called War Woman. A king-size bed soaked in rape impales a daughter who is also a granddaughter, who is also a mother. Her long hair snarled into knots. She tosses and tangles in red sheets of unrest. Lost in a maze of man moods that makes losing her moods and losing herself easy. Sleep, a reprieve. Mercury spills from her ribs. 2 swollen rainstorms are her eyelids. Razor blade red above ancestor shadow portals. Where grandmothers toss, turn. Where first women bury grenades beneath oak trees. They hope that maybe assaults can become something else. In dream rabbit holes, she discovers her mother, same age, churning. Mother drinks away the stomach aches in a king-size bed soaked in rape she didn't make. When the sun interrupts, mother paints men away, carves wood into plaques for the outlaw ones who follow law by virtue of their wars, their beating, their raping. I know a mother poet. She says, out of all the mothers, daughters, grandmothers active in unrest, Warriors born in December are the babies who burn themselves away in the protection fire she procreates. Death alive in the havoc of her fight back. In the southern elements, such war women resurrect. I am war woman's daughter, granddaughter, born breach from soul mothers sirening the hymn collective away into death. In knots I find these women inside of me, daughters, mothers, granddaughters on fire, tied to his hawthorn crosses, tied to his king-size bed soaked in rape, legs spread for his riddles, his death. War woman hijacks his flames, sinks his ships, finds peace in her seething blaze. That's it. It's a little heavy. So the other two are pretty short. I'm gonna switch to a funny, charming one because that one's so heavy. Can't acknowledge International Women's Day and not acknowledge the women we come from, you know? There's a lot of fighters in my familia, that are women. I got hit on for the first time in like forever the other night. Yeah, it's like happening less and less now. That's fine, but I wrote about it. To the lover who said, "I'll be right back. I promise I'm pretty." That's the title. I'm pretty sure you're not used to girls who drink the sun and moon from a mason jar, dynamite in her dress pocket, selenite knife in her bra strap. I'm pretty sure you're not coming right back. That dying flower you gifted me lacks the reliability of a thorn's prick and smells like someone else. I'm pretty sure something I said wasn't so pretty, too much true. Our banter and my inner siren burned you. I'm pretty sure I took you home 2 music eras ago. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty bored by you already. All right, I'll read something out of Cauldrons. I finally published a chapbook. If you want to buy one, they're $13 because that's a divine feminine number. That matters today. I believe we all have feminine and masculine energy running through us, you know, and even us males here that identify as male, you're part of today just as much as you choose to be. So, all right. I'm going to read 2 tiny short ones. The first one's called Sacrament and was inspired by Donald Trump, but now pretty much makes me think of lots of people. It's called Sacrament. If he's not careful, all these hurting girls with moon cycles will collect her monthly juju into red mason jars like magic ruby bullets. She will phase him away with buried poppets. Armed and charmed, he will end by her holy blood. That's it. Last one. It's called Rune. Good old-fashioned. Let's end with a breakup poem. I cast 9 switchblades made of my skin. Black cactus reminders I bury in you. I resurrect in memory basements. My naked ghost dances ice-cold footprints through your backbone mazes. I kick rocks, turn over stones. I graffiti soul ruins so those conquistadors smell our magic, so your wounds know. I cast 9 gritas in you, bruja echoes for every poema that holds you like my bed, for every meal you eat alone that tastes of me. So every painting or story made by left hand summon you and me. For new moons that turn her back from your hands, I cast your nights dark as the dead end you left in a sweet witch's heart. Thank you. Jessica, thanks for having me.
Once again, R Morrison. drummer in a heavy metal band. Anyhow, please welcome the next poet, the final poet of the evening, and then after that we're gonna end on some with some groovy music. But for now, please welcome the Jazz Poet Laureate of San Francisco, Jenny Lim.
Not gonna do my jazz poems tonight. We should though. We need to boogie, stamp our feet, and clap our hands. It's so goddamn cold. Even my roomie, my dog, is opting to go in the warm car. Okay. The scream. I felt a large scream pass through nature. Edvard Munch. How could Munch have known 135 years ago that soundless howl, that cry of anguish, concealed in every woman, everyone, everything, like some wild, wounded beast captured in beeswax, paraffin, and gum pastels? The self-annihilation, the powerful and beautiful natural order of things receding into chaos, chaotic flight, in recoiling terror. Only the crows and gulls seem to know their sinister caws and flapping of wings etched in things to come. How did we come to take this route? If the screech of crows sounds like the scream of someone being shot, hung, the scream of war, the scream of nature is the sound of madness. A river at its breaking point, an earth-shattering roar, limitless and inhuman, sweeping everything away, fragmenting memory, dispatching death without justice or partiality in the time it takes a pot of water to boil. The cry, the scream, the howl! Thank you. The infinite is the source of joy. There's no joy in the finite. Only in the infinite is there joy. From the Upanishads. The explosion of a bomb silences everything else. The voice of a little girl crouched in a stairwell with a stuffed teddy bear. The drop of a coin on the crossroads of mortality. The Saturday night special is a thundering train, a giant sprung from the catacombs of death. We are what we think and do. The poem is the breath that floats on the currents of broken memories, lives, and dismembered logic in a bed of ashes. Do you think the mother of the one who pulls the trigger, the one who releases the switch, doesn't know his story? Rats will eat themselves when it comes down to it, and so will men, even if they do not admit it. All our lives, we find ourselves at odds with our fate. We ask ourselves, what is the meaning of life? Yet we never ask ourselves, what is the meaning of death? Is the martyr's self-sacrifice our redemption? The hand that pulls our hand from the grave? Men in the sun are heroes. We love what we cannot be. Does the river ever run uphill? What is life? How can we fill it when we kill it? How can we conquer the land if we cannot seize the sky? Who does Ukraine belong to? To the little girl crouched under the footprint of a bomb? To the tomb of the unknown soldier? To the empire of hungry ghosts? The infinite is the source of joy. There's no joy in the finite. Only in the infinite is there joy. Thank you. Myths. Sweet river of night, spill over the bay with your bright red-orange flames. Let the blood of paradise scorch the roofs, treetops, and our desperate hearts. It's no illusion the city is on fire within. Guanggung, the god of war and poets. After your star-hopping binge with the cowherd's daughter, please beg King Yan, the god of death, to postpone our destruction. Put on trial mankind's failure to end war and disaster should result in a murder conviction. If the snake and the peacock can bury the hatchet, one crawling on its belly, unable to see the light, the other rising to heights without self-reflection, buried in bitcoins and profit margins with heads in their sand, there might be accountability in this story of two worlds, history and allegory. But poetry isn't poetry, and words aren't just words. A pigeon pecks at the crumbs of meaning in a homeless camp where a dog sleeps by a woman in a bed of cardboard and dew. A block away, Chinatown takes off her dress of corrugated metal and plastic like a rejected bride ashamed of her body. There must be a truce in this city. The sounds unleashed in the throats of chickens about to be butchered and children masked and shuttered behind sobbing walls and subways should break the heart of any soldier. Lights from the empty orifices of skyscrapers flicker like stars through the fortress of illusion. I hear a mother's heart beating in me. I hear my grandmother's heart beating in me. There must be dreams for the sky to become real. There must be a boat for the wind to carry our memories, and a God to whisper the names of our dead to whom death means nothing. Oh, sweet river of night, spill over the bay with your bright red-orange moon. I am still here. It's a new year. It's no illusion. We are still here. Thank you. My last one. Then you can get up and warm up with some wine and some boogie. The Heart Sutra, that's called the Prajnaparamita Hidaya Sutram. Einstein decoded the sutras and tantras. E equals MC2. Energy and mass are of one thing and can change into each other. Outer space is inner space. Inner space is outer space from its emptiness and form. Memories collapse distance and time like shadows cast from a moving train at the speed of light. There's no history without memory, and no memory without history to suffer the wounds of our losses in our flesh, in our hearts. History isn't big enough or long enough to carry our caskets of collateral despair in the march to battle hymns and war drums beating from the armies of profit and illusion. Maratha, Genghis, Alexander, Caesar, Napoleon, Hitler, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, Ukraine, like footprints in space, the smoke of burning empires racing to extinction. E equals MC2. There is no birth, no death. The white lotus rises from the ashes of karma, from the charnel ground of sorrow. The fallen awaken in the resolute dawn to grieve, sing, love, and resurrect. Birth after death, laughter after tears. Form is no other than emptiness. Emptiness is no other than form. Gate, parasam gate, bodhisvaha. Gone, 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 gone to the other shore. Paragate, parasam gate, bodhisvaha. Thank you.
Once again, Jenny Lim. And we're going to close out the evening with some groovy music on the Quattro with La Mentilla.
Thanks for bearing with the cold, y'all. Hang on, let's get this guy. There's good. And we up. There we go. How is everybody holding up? Okay, nice. Well, happy First Friday, happy Women's Month. We got 31 days, but it sure is cold. I would have took June. Nobody asked me. All right, let's get rid of those gloves. We tried to play with them on, but it sounded weird. All right, well, my name is Lamantia, and if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, you can go on the internet to molove.net. I've got a couple EPs if you want to support of my upcoming release. All right, I'm going to start out with a song called Everywhere. This is like, you know when you met somebody, and they're, okay, this is going to be tough with this one, and there's something about them. Okay, let's get a little spray here real quick. Hope I don't crack. All righty. Every time I see you, I feel it. Little jump, oh fluttering now. Every time I think, no, I'm not crying. No, I don't know what I'll go do. Ooh, you are so far away and still you're here, you're right here with me. Hey, little sweetness, don't you worry now. You're safe, no one can touch you now. You're held in the high side. No, I got you, you know I got you. Ooh, you are so far away and still I'll be here, I'll be right here with me. Every time I think I see you, I feel it. Little jump, oh fluttering now. Every time I think I hear your voice, it sends me. No, I'm not crying. No, I'll go do. Ooh, you are so far away and still here. You're right here with me. Hey, little sweetness, don't you worry now. You're safe, no one can touch you now. You're held in the high side. No, I got you, you know I got you. Ooh, you are so far away and still I'll be here, I'll be right here with me. Every time I think I see you, I feel it. Little jump, oh fluttering now. Every time I think I see you, every time I hear you, every time I think about you, you're the sweetest one I know. I don't know what I do if you go forever. You're the sweetest thing I know. I don't know. Everywhere. Hey Dave, can I get a little more off the Quattro? Dave, Soundman Dave. Soundman Dave? Can somebody get Dave from the sound? All right, we'll take that jacket off because dang guitar kept sliding down. All righty. You guys want to hear one more?
We need less guitar, more
No,
guitar.
no, a little more guitar.
A little more guitar.
Roll the bass off though.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll get real funky.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, that'll work. All right. So this is a song about. Well, I'm gonna tell you one. Let me just sing it to you. This is our story about bringing a West Coast carnival authentically out here. Abandon your worries and slow up. Please, please don't hurry. I'm gonna wait for you. No, the dance is though not through. Now I want you to just picture this if you can. As the band is passing, everybody's gonna stop you. What could this be? Girls are dancing and the boys commence to chancing. It starts to feel good. All the people come out, what will do or shout out in. It's a lovely scene. Music's reaching high and higher. People looking skyward, start to feel free, feel free, feel free. Abandon your worries, ease up. No, no, don't hurry. I'm gonna wait for you. Abandon your worries, ease up. No, no, don't hurry. I'm gonna wait for you. No, the dance is no, not through. The jumbles of dancing of rhythms. We throw all that together and fall in a trance and dance. Do the baba, we do the baba, we do the baba. Bow, boom, bow, bow down. Abandon your worries, slower. No, no, don't hurry. I'm gonna wait for you. No, the dance is now not through. Abandon those worries. No, no, please don't hurry. I swear we'll wait for you. We'll wait for you. Okay, one more time. See if you can get this picture for me now. Are you ready? You ready? As the band is passing, everybody's gonna stop you. What could that be? Girls are dancing and the boys commence to trancing and it starts to feel good. All the people come out, one or two will shout it and it's a lovely scene. Music's reaching high and higher. People looking skyward, start to feel free, feel free, feel free, feel free. There you go. All right, thank you very, very much. I need a strap for this thing. You want one more? Okay. This one's for free on the internet on molove.net. And I have a couple EPs here if anybody wants to get one. And if you guys sign up for the mailing list, I might just give you one. All right? So try like that. Let's see. How can I take this thing? All right. Usually don't play with as much clothes on. It's kind of an adjustment. Nunrik from the north plays her guitar. All righty. Here we go then. The sky is the first thing that I see. Your smiles might be hidden, but not from me, no. No, 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 everything is fine, yes, sir. Everything is looking alright. Don't take with time, yes, I'm going through this hustle bustle. This is a story I heard a long time ago. How to move easy and take your time, you know. People are telling me slow it down. I don't know what to do. I'm walking by. The sky is the first thing that I see. Your smiles might be hidden, but not from me, no. No, 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 no. Everything is fine. Everything is looking alright. And say I'm blind, but then dying to look at life. Well, the sky is the first thing that I see. Your smiles might be it, but not from me now. No, 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 no. Well, the sky is the first thing that I see. Your smiles might be hidden, but not from me, no. No, 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 no. Everything is fine, yeah, no. Everything is looking alright. Trying to take me time, yeah, now. Going through this hustle, bustle. I never heard anybody say, take your time, love. I never heard anybody say that I told her. Oh, take your time, love. Oh, take your time, love.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So it's Mo Love as opposed to No Love. I'm Lamantia, molove.net. Please come visit us and sign up. Jessica?
Good night, everyone. Thank you very much. Coming to First Friday. Once again, Lamantia on the quattro there. We did get a little dancing in. That's always fun, and it keeps us fucking warm.